Welcome to the Scandi Shift. I'm Selena.
And I'm Meg. And today we have a short bonus episode where we're talking about what it actually took to get this podcast off the ground.
Yeah, we thought it would be fun to do a short episode just talking purely about the process of starting up and just honestly how little we knew and how many things caught us completely off guard.
Yeah, a lot of things caught us off guard. So I didn't think making a podcast would really be easy per se, but I definitely underestimated it, right? There were so many things I just wasn't aware of. And some of the stuff I assumed would be simple was honestly like comically difficult.
Yeah, I also didn't think it was going to be easy, but I just didn't realize where it would be hard.
Yeah, I mean, people do think you kind of push record and just go, but you have to get to push record. Like you have to get to that step. So the basic equipment setup, should we just start with that story?
Yes, and maybe we should put a little background to that story. And I would do that, and then I'll hand over to you, Meg.
Just background,
So, yeah, the agenda.
Yeah.
Hugely ambitious agenda.
Anyone who knows me knows I like a good agenda.
And yeah, I remember we had a phone call before and I was like, yeah, I think the agenda's great. I mean, if we achieve all of this, I mean, wow, what a great job.
And it became time by minute. I was like, greetings, catching up, 15 minutes.
Yes. Equipment setup, 3 minutes. And over to you, Meg, now for the rest of that story.
I would say it was 3 minutes times. It was more like 3 hours. It took literally took us 3 hours to.
And no, it's awesome. And at the end of 3 hours, we still hadn't set it up. We couldn't figure out how to record.
We had all what we thought the perfect equipment. We'd done research. We picked what we thought like the right soundboard, the headphones, the microphone, all of that. And we unboxed everything. It was all brand new. It was like a Christmas unboxing. And we're all excited. We got the instructions. We're following. Selena's reading off to me. And I'm like, okay, got it. Check. And then wait, what does that word mean? I don't know what that word said. We're Googling the terms of what it's telling us to plug in. Or like, what is that plug even? And yeah, 3 hours later, no setup was done. It was like we did our best, and then mortified.
It wasn't good enough.
Our best was not good enough. So I was like, okay, right, okay. We'll move on to part 2 that was supposed to be at 15 minutes, and we did a bunch of admin that day. And I got home and I extended to my husband, and of course, he ended up in like 20 minutes.
The man stepped in.
The man steps in a job. He is very versed in audio visual. I don't know, because he loves projects and he's good with that stuff. So he knew what to do. So I was not super embarrassed. So after the successful setup by my husband, who was like, and then you do this, and we took pictures of everything, so I knew how to do it again, and we figured out that we needed a recording software. So it wasn't just the equipment, it was the software. But then we came back and we were like, great, we are ready to do our first trailer. And what happened after that?
Well,
we were failing.
Actually, I felt like we have a natural flow.
Yes.
Two friends talking, we kind of know the topic and we ask questions and we just go. And that's very natural for us.
Yes. Yeah.
What is not natural is you hear yourself playing back. You can hear the echo. And I just have to say that we're recording at my place. We're in the living room. Yeah, the acoustics are not good.
No, not ideal.
Podcast.
No. But we don't have a pantry or closet that we can sit inside. So we had to do our best. But we were trying to mimic the closet feel.
Yeah, so we went from like surrounding with, blankets and cushions to like just straight up on our hands and knees. I joked at one point, say, oh, maybe if we realized that the sofa actually was quite a good buffer.
Yes.
So we started like facing the sofa cushions at the back. If they're not looking at each other, which is obviously here. And then I was joking. I said, well, maybe we should just get on the floor. And then you just like, just talk into the lower half. And on my all fours, like, and the sad fact is that worked. It did work. It was beautiful sound. Ridiculous. I mean, we had not ever recorded a puff in that position. I hope. And also, these are a full-on workout. You're like getting crunches and ab work and also podcasting. No, it was beautiful sound. It was beautiful sound, but it was not actually doable on the regular. Like we couldn't do it. So yeah, we do know that there is, especially so trailer, we worked a lot on editing to get the sound better, but we didn't really know quite what to do, but we went out with it. And then episode 1, we got out, we did our best, and we know the sound quality isn't perfect. Yes, which kind of moves on. So the microphone, it's unnatural.
It is very unnatural.
To hold.
Yeah.
And for my husband, he listened back to the first episode and he said, oh yeah, I knew exactly what was happening. When you went quiet and you basically just sound like you disappeared into like some black hole.
Like in a little ether.
You were dropping out. And when I laugh, I lean back and I wasn't taking the microphone with me. And so whenever you can hear me just straight up disappear, it's pretty much what I'm doing.
To the microphone and the recording equipment, Selena has dropped off into a black hole. She's laughing, so she's moved away. And then people could be like, well, you should sit at a table and have the microphone on a stand and have a buffer. And we did try that, but it was very unnatural. And then our voices were very wooden. And so we were like, we need to be as comfortable and authentic to how we would be speaking to each other when chatting. So let's just try it. Let's hold the microphone. But the awkward angle, the awkward angle and the closeness to your mouth to actually make this work is it takes some time. And so I we've gotten better at it. It's not going to be perfect. We're probably never going to be perfect.
No, but that's also, it was a big part of the setup. You know, one of the things that we really love about doing a podcast is you can just be genuine yourself. Of course, you can be fake and you can make up stuff. But that is not us. No, just wanted to be true to who we are. And, you know, we were laughing before about how this is so different to the other jobs that we've held down.
Yes.
And, you know, like even doing this episode where you talk openly and honestly about, let's be honest, all the fuck ups. You don't, what are the jobs you think of where you could do that? You know, I ever walked into my corporate jobs and, you know, would make light and poke fun of myself for making mistakes. And that's just not how life is.
No. And
in some of those jobs, I can't speak on behalf of everybody.
No.
You kind of refine, you know, everything goes through iteration 75. And sometimes, you know, it goes through this big machine. You record something, you write a piece of comms. And then after iteration 87, you know, the CEO then signs it off. I mean, what you wrote originally, most of it is different and taken out.
Yeah.
So that it doesn't even sound like you. And because that is polish. So we talked very much, and it's needed. I just want to say that is absolutely needed.
Yeah.
I worked in HR. Some of those topics were highly sensitive. So I'm not taking away from the machine that is needed.
No.
But it's just the saying that this is so different.
Oh.
And allows you so much freedom. It's almost scary, actually.
It is. But I think it's also, I mean, there are podcasts, their nature is being polished and they're talking through things and that's their style. But yeah, to your point, that we really looked at this and said, for us and the Scandi Shift, polish is the enemy.
Yeah. Polish is the enemy of intimacy.
Yes, polish is the enemy of intimacy.
and that is actually something that we stand by. So the first episode, back to the quality of the sound.
Yes.
We had like slightly differing opinions on what to do about it. I was like, oh, you know, again, coming from the roles that I've had, should we re-record this? No, I'm not sure this is good. Should we put this out there for public consumption? And, you know, I'm overthinking. And Meg's just like, we're doing it. It's going, get it out, let it out, what? Because actually, you're a really avid podcast fan, isn't it? And you you listen to some really popular podcasts now. And
Yeah,
some of those in the early days.
Yeah, there's one I've literally been following for 9 years, the same podcast. I listen to other ones, but one that in particular that I love, and their first episodes are very awkward, and everyone finds their flow. And I think it also, honestly, for me, from a work background, it comes from being in startups for the last few years, and you start to understand the idea of get it out there, get feedback, iterate. And I felt the same way with this. I'm like, we know it's not perfect. We know we could probably do it again, but let's just get it out there. Let's start. And then, like a snowball, we get faster and better and faster and better.
Yeah, I really hope people think that now when they listen to episode 3.
Yes, I think episode 3 is a lot stronger.
As I'm talking now, I've got this microphone practically shoved into my mouth.
You have mastered putting this really close to your face.
I'm laughing and I'm taking it with me. I mean, I'm learning a lot here.
It is. It's true. So if this episode proves anything, it's that you can wildly underestimate something and still figure it out. You can still be, let's call it, slightly successful.
Exactly. Yeah. And thanks again for being here and letting us be very honest about how all this came together.
And we'll be back next week with a regular episode and then our every other episode cadence for full-blown content. So we're really excited.
Have a good day.